What's up, Twitch and YouTube? It's Murphy D55 coming through with another episode of Around the Gjallarhorn. And today we have Mr. 9 a.m. himself, IAMDEANOO, in the building. Appreciate you coming through, man, on this NFL Sunday. I know we got games going on right now. I know it's a busy time for you as a content creator, but I really do appreciate you coming and sitting down. Thank you, my dude.
Sure, Murphy D, you the legend. I appreciate you having me on here. We've been trying to do this for a long time, so I'm happy that we're making it happen finally.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate it. We had for those of you guys that came in here in the Noti Gang or came in the Dino raid, we had to battle through some audio issues. That's always something that's like kind of a streamer's worst nightmare. Like have you had to deal with any audio issues in your stream, or are you pretty much good to go with your setup right now?
No, most definitely. I've had issues with my webcam, everything, so we got to fight through it for sure.
That's it. That's it. It teaches you to be kind of a resilient person as a streamer. I remember not too long ago being on my old PC, and I was dealing with like streams crashing and stuff. And now I got a new PC set up, feeling a lot better about it. And that's kind of what allowed me to do these Around the Gjallarhorn podcast. I think even a few months ago, I wouldn't have been able to boot this thing up without it crashing immediately. But you're looking crisp over there, looking good at the stream setup. You got your nice merch on.
For
The
real.
Be Great. I want to talk to you about that Be Great slogan, because that's one of the cleanest. You got some of the cleanest merch that's out there right now. I know my guy
Thank you
GoTZ
so
has one of
much.
yours. I've seen a lot of guys wearing those hoodies. Where did that
Yeah.
come from? Just Be Great. It's so simple, but it's like powerful too at the same time.
I know. That's what I like about it. I like stuff that's just like simple, but it's still like my favorite color is white. That should tell you a little bit about me. Like I like stuff that's simple, clean, and just to the point. And I don't know, when I just first started streaming, I was thinking about, every streamer gets their merch, gets their little vibe type thing, and I really didn't know what I wanted to go with. And I was just like, I'm all about being positive, just being the best at whatever you want to do, either streaming, if you're in school to do something, just anything, whatever you want to do, be great can apply to anybody. Whatever you want to
Yeah.
do, just be the best at it. And I actually, before I even put it on my for my official merch, I actually got a couple t-shirts and stuff. I was wearing them out, and how I knew that it was some merch that would actually mean something and be good is people would come up to me and like tell me that they like my shirt and stuff, and I'm like, damn, that's crazy. So
That's wild,
yeah.
man. Yeah, you definitely found like lightning in a jar. You got something good going with that. Like it's super crisp, man. I gotta get myself one of those hoodies. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah,
So
man. So is this Be Great thing? Does this go all the way back to? Is this something you've always felt? Have you always been all about positive vibes? And I wanted to kind of talk about your kind of origin, like. So are you in Miami right now, or like in Florida, anyways?
yeah, I
Where are you at?
rep Miami as well as Cleveland because I
Yeah,
was born and raised in Miami, and then half of my family is from Cleveland.
yeah,
So I watch a lot of Cleveland football and stuff, but my roots are definitely Miami. So
yeah,
everybody always asks me because I rock Cleveland theme team in Madden, and
yeah.
everybody's like, "Oh, you like Miami and Cleveland? If they were to play, who would you go with?" And I always tell everybody, since I was born and raised in Miami, I got to stick with the home team. But I have been rocking Cleveland a little more heavy recently, just because of all the hype around the team and stuff. It's just
Yeah.
fun to watch them play. Baker, OBJ was on the team.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he left. Nick Chubb, like they have just a
A lot of
lot of
talent.
exciting players. Yeah.
Yeah. And that defense is special too. Like Miles Garrett, probably one of the best defensive players in the league. I remember the
Hmm.
Vikings played against the Browns this year, and you guys were like sending three or sending four, and sacking Kirk Cousins the entire game. I was like, what the hell's going on? We can't block you
I
guys, even when we
know.
had like six guys in the box. So you
Yeah, they're
definitely have something to
crazy.
build around. What do you think of Baker Mayfield? Like as a Browns fan, do you think he is the answer? Do
That's
you think
a
he's going to
great
develop?
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that question a lot, and this goes, I don't even know. There's so many ways to go to it, but I'll give you my main thoughts on Baker.
Mm-hmm.
I love Baker. I mean, as a Browns fan, I feel like if you're a true Browns fan, I mean, you got to rock with him. He gives the team literally everything he has. He always is there for the team on Twitter and everything. He always tells everybody that he's not looking to go anywhere. He wants to
Yeah.
play his whole career in Cleveland. And I mean, he wants to do as good as everybody wishes that he does. So I mean, I like him in that sense, but I feel like just his performance on the field, he can keep a game going. So if Nick Chubb has the ball running, the offensive line is going and clicking, and he has to come and make a couple passes, just like short
Yeah,
gain passes, just to switch up the offense. He can do that, but I've seen him make a comeback and do a couple things that were great a couple times, but a lot of the times when we need him and it's tough and it's like 2 minutes left, we have the ball and we need a score to tie the game up or
yeah,
something. A lot of the times he can't get it done, which is unfortunate, but
yeah.
I still rock with him as a player.
Yeah, he's not like that guy yet. Like he's probably not. Well, he's definitely not in the top 10 conversation yet. You know, maybe in the
Yeah,
top 15 conversation for sure.
yeah,
And it's true. Like it's funny. Like when when you look at like Ryan Tannehill getting eliminated from the playoffs the other day. Like for some reason, whenever like good quarterbacks get eliminated, people start talking about their tier list. And I've heard Baker Mayfield's name come up a lot, and a lot of people are giving him a lot of flack this offseason. I actually remember the first time I saw him play. I was in California on a road trip with my wife, and I remember seeing his bowl game, and it was like an overtime game, and it was like going back and forth. I think he played for, was it Oklahoma or
yeah. I think
so
so.
yeah, and he was wild, and he was actually in LA at Staples Center like the day after. I guess it must have been the Rose Bowl or something he was playing in, because he was in California, and he seemed like he had that superstar quality. Like he's definitely confident. But then he always draws comparisons to, like, as a result of being drafted by the Browns and having that confidence to Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
Do you think, like from what you've seen so far, do you think his career is already better than Johnny Manziel's career was for the Browns? Like has he already kind of ascended past that?
Yeah, I definitely think for sure he's ascended past Johnny. But also another thing with me is I love football players that I don't know. I like exciting football players that necessarily don't always play by the rules. So I
Yeah,
like guys like I love Johnny Manziel. I thought he was super fun to watch. Great player. I mean, it was
yeah,
unfortunate his season or his
yeah,
career went how it did, but and then also guys like I mean, I'm a Browns fan, but a lot of people might not know Josh Gordon. He's one of my favorite
yeah,
wideouts. He
yeah, man.
I mean, he just don't follow the rules, but and I admire coaches like Bill Belichick too, because Bill Belichick is known for not being afraid of the people that don't follow the rules, and he just looks at like strictly their performance on the field, and if you can turn up and if you can play, he wants you on their team. Same with
Yeah,
Antonio Brown. I
yeah,
mean, Tom Brady might have had a little bit of a say to get him there, but
yeah.
I mean, he's known for bringing guys in because they're talented. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, no, I definitely see that. Josh Gordon was like, I think he led the league in receiving yards when he was with Cleveland, and then obviously with like all the drug testing for marijuana, which really, should they even be testing players for that? I don't know. Like
Yeah,
that's a whole nother podcast right there. These guys take
for sure.
they take a physical beating. They deal with a lot of pain, a lot of anxiety, and mental stress. So, I mean, maybe test guys for steroids, but not necessarily for something recreational like that. But
Especially if it's legal
yeah.
in some states. I mean,
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
tough.
Why? Yeah.
Yeah,
Why are NFL players held to a higher, moral standard than regular people? They're attending their games probably. I'm sure half the people at their games are probably smoking up before they go. To
exactly.
be honest, so yeah, it's
Uh-huh.
an interesting thing. Josh Gordon though is one guy. Like I swear he gets drafted every single year in fantasy, even when he's suspended, because the potential is so high. If he ever gets it together completely. I still think he's young enough and physically talented enough to have a good year. It's just yeah, it feels like everything's stacked against him. I don't know, in this league. It does seem like things are stacked against him a little bit.
I know it's tough. I mean, I feel like he's had so many chances. He gets suspended and comes back, and everybody's like, "Oh, let's go," and then he does it again and
Yeah.
again, and it's like, "Come on, man."
Man, he's leaving money on the table. You wish that he could just capitalize and kind of, make his bag and then live his life however he wants to, but easier said than done.
Seriously.
Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, so you said you were raised in Miami. Like, were you in downtown, or like outside of, like, in a suburb of Miami, or like what?
I was raised in Hollywood, so it wasn't like Miami, Miami, but
Yeah.
it was over there on the East Coast for sure.
Yeah, and what's the lifestyle like down there? Like it's super humid, I know, because my wife's been down there. She says like humidity is ridiculous, so I imagine you can deal with the heat. But is it like everyone thinks Miami, or I think of it as like this huge party city, like this whole, like crazy party vibes all the time? Is that the case?
I mean, it's the case if you want it to be the case. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The heat is crazy. I take pride living in Florida because I know people that come down here, and I actually just met somebody who just moved down here from Minnesota, I
Oh
believe, to be
wow.
honest.
Yeah.
And he told me he left his crib like a week ago, and it was like -20. He showed me a picture outside of his house, snow everywhere, and yeah, he came down here and he was just like, "Yo, this is insane." And we'll be playing football down here all year
Yeah.
long. And when I'm just playing midsummer, it's like just toasting out here. And like I feel the heat and I know how hot it is, but like I'm somewhat used to it.
Yeah.
Like I just take pride in that because I know like people can't hang with this, you know what I'm saying? Like the heat
Yeah.
down here is a little different. So
Well, I'm saying the fact that you can even wear like a hoodie, like I would not even own any long sleeve shirts if I lived in Florida. I wouldn't own
it's
pants.
actually just starting
Yeah.
to get a little cold down here, to be honest.
What's cold
Probably
like in
not to
Fahrenheit?
you.
What's cold for you guys?
Let me pull up the let
Yeah,
me
I
pull
got to
up
see
the
what the
weather real
temperature is.
quick. It's like 60 right now.
60.
Oh,
Okay,
that's sweater weather for me for sure.
yeah. So is that about as cold as it gets down there? Like, is this like the coldest day you'll have all year is sweater weather? You don't have to get a parka or anything, or like no Canada Goose
Nah,
jackets
yeah,
down
I
there.
think last year or maybe 2 years ago, the weather got crazy, like 50, maybe even it hit in the 40s.
Yeah,
But that was the lowest that it's ever been for me
yeah,
when I was here. But I know up north, maybe Orlando it might get a little colder, but down here, yeah, that was the coldest that I've ever seen it.
yeah.
But
Because you're not that far from I guess Cuba. I've never been to Miami. I've been to like Disney World once when I was a kid. I've been to Cuba, which
mm,
is I guess just across the ocean from Miami, like not too far from there.
yeah.
But like, are you? Is there like a big Cuban culture? Do you find like in Miami? Like, does it kind of spread out to the surrounding areas or not so much?
Where I'm specifically at, like my area, no, but there's definitely like, um, let me think how to explain it. I would say hoods, but
Yeah,
not like more. But yeah,
little
they have
pockets.
their
Yeah,
own spots. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Because
So,
I always thought it
but
was
yeah, Cubans for sure. Where I'm at in Florida, definitely is like the
yeah.
main spot.
Because I
Yeah.
always thought it was so weird. Like Canadians, we could always travel there, but I know for you guys in the states, like a lot of time it was like closed off. Nobody could go there. It was like, what do you call it? I guess because they're a communist country or something, people weren't able to travel. But
Yeah.
I think now, like, do you know if Americans can go to Cuba now? I think they feel? I feel like they patched things up a bit now. Where
Yeah, I think they're able to now. Yeah.
yeah, that's crazy, man. Sometimes
I've
the
never
world seems
been,
so
but
backwards. Oh, well, I mean, you don't need to.
I
You already live
know.
in a vacation destination. You're already set. You live in a
For
good spot.
real.
But you were saying that you guys can kind of play football year round and stuff down there. Like athletics is huge. A lot of baseball players, football players, all come out of Florida. A lot of great college programs. Did you have any background in athletics when you were growing up down there, like playing sports and whatnot?
For sure. Yeah. I started playing tackle football, I believe, in middle school. A lot of the people near me played like Pop Warner and stuff. I just played. There was like another tackle football league in my city that I was just a part of, and then I started getting into high school football. And in high school football, I played linebacker, outside linebacker, and D end. D end is my
D end.
favorite position. Yes, bro. So I love D end so much because I just love rushing the quarterback. You know, I got those pass rush
Yeah,
moves. Come on now.
let's
So,
go.
but actually, not too long ago, I was on what were we talking about? It was just fun and games, but damn, I was in Fendler's chat not too long ago, and he was telling me how he's an old lineman,
Yeah.
and we were just talking bullshit, and the conversation came up on like, sorry, somebody's screaming in my
It's
house.
all
The
good.
conversation came on and talking about like if I could beat him in a 1v1 type shit. And I was just, that shit was so fun just to even talk
Yeah.
about. Cause sometimes when I'm even like at my school, I have like this turf area just in the middle of the courtyard. And sometimes I'll just line up like I'm on the line, just about to
Yeah.
take off. And that shit just brings back memories. But yeah,
Man.
I just played. I would love to play. I would have loved to play college football, but the offers I was getting was like D2, D3 schools,
Yeah.
And I would like if I was gonna play college, I would want to go like D1, but
Yeah.
so I just ended up just going to college after high school. But yeah, football
Yeah.
definitely. I love football.
Yeah, it's fun. It's true. Like unless you can kind of play at that highest level, like for me, it wasn't an option really. I played offensive line and I was really undersized, so the option of playing, post secondary was not there. But it's one of those things in Canada. We don't really have the Pop Warner grassroots football like you guys do.
Mm.
So really, most people, it's like 4 years you can play, and then if you're good, you can keep playing. If not, that's it. And
Oh
I kind of
wow.
miss it. But at the same time, I don't imagine wanting to line up against anybody and get hit. Like I feel like now I would probably die if I played a regular football game. I don't think I could do it anymore. It's a rough sport. It's brutal.
Yeah, that's another thing.
You're young enough.
For playing DN, I'm honestly way undersized. I'm like 5'11",
Yeah,
and so if I went, I would have probably played like outside linebacker.
yeah,
Even though I'm short, I mean, like short in the sense of like fucking 6'5", 6'3", what you got to be for DN.
yeah,
I mean, I still feel like I was quick with it. I could have got the job done for sure.
yeah,
But yeah, after my 4 years of high school, to be honest, I was about spent of football.
yeah.
I don't even know if I would want to do another 4 years playing like that. I mean, it's tough.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a full time job for these guys, these college athletes. And they a lot of pressure for a young person to have on their shoulders for sure. But you were saying
Yeah.
so you went to college after high school. Are you in school right now still as well?
Yeah, I'm in school right now. I took last year off of school because I'm trying to get into dental school.
Oh yeah,
So
nice.
I was taking a bunch of like tutoring courses and stuff and applying to take the test, getting all my stuff done. So I did all that last year, and then this year in January, I just started back up at my university.
Yeah,
What's it called? And I'm finishing my last year to get my bachelor's degree. I'm still waiting on the dental schools to get back to me,
yeah.
but just finishing up my bachelor's degree.
That's
Whatever
awesome, man.
whatever happens, we gonna
Yeah,
rock with
that's
it.
exciting stuff. So what's your so in order to kind of take that path towards becoming a dentist, like what degree do you have to get? Like a science degree or like what's your major?
Yeah, so there's a couple different degrees you can get. Mine is a biology degree. I've talked with a bunch of dentists in my area. They given me great advice and stuff. And one of the dentists that live near me, they got a biology degree, and they said honestly, out of all of them, the biology degree you can get everything you need, and it's like not any extra nonsense
Yeah,
courses. So
yeah,
like you can get a chemistry degree or whatever, but all of those have like
yeah.
hella tough courses. I mean, the biology is definitely tough as well. Like there's physics, organic chemistry, all this crazy stuff, but
Oh man.
it's like the best one to get. So I'm about to finish that one up. Thankfully, I've already passed all of those hard courses with the labs and stuff this last year because all those courses are what you need to apply to dental school. So I knocked all those out before and then applied, and then now I'm just finishing up the last couple of things that I have to do. So
Nice. Is that stressful for you, like waiting to hear back? Because I had to do the same with teachers college. It was like another degree after my degree, and you wait around, and then the spring comes around, and you're like, oh damn, when am I going to hear back? And then, is that something that you're stressing about, or you kind of like, since you have this streaming thing to kind of fall back on, is it kind of like you'll just roll with the punches no matter what?
it is stressful, but also at the same time, I'm taking advantage of like all the blessings I have right now. I'm blessed enough to have contact with dentists in my area, giving me good advice and stuff, and me feeling like I'd be able to take on the loans and stuff that come with dental school. So I feel like if I have the opportunity, I'm in contact with people that can help me. I might as well go for it. Being a dentist, I didn't grow up wanting to be a dentist or anything like that. So,
Yeah.
but I gave it my all. My test scores weren't through the roof. So, I mean, I just did the best I could. If they don't come back, um, how we want them to, then I mean, it's not going to break my heart. But I just
Yeah.
felt like I would be doing myself a disservice if I didn't try to go for it. You know what I mean?
100%, man. I respect that, and it's never a negative trying to pursue more education. I'm a teacher, so I'm a little bit biased, but like
Yeah.
I think whatever career path you kind of go down. I think educating yourself and pursuing higher education is always like one of the best things that you can possibly do. That's one of the things I think a lot of these players that go straight to the NFL might miss out on. With how fast the NFL career can be. A lot of these guys, the opportunity to get higher education, they kind of pass up on it for a chance at maybe making it big in the NFL, but not always a guaranteed thing for sure. It's always good to have a backup plan in case. But now, do you think going down this path, is streaming something that you think you're going to be able to kind of maintain and continue regardless of what kind of career path you go down? Is this something you always look to?
Yeah, for sure. This is definitely a good topic because I started streaming as a Madden streamer, and football always has been my passion. And I mean, I'll go into my development as a streamer just because we're getting into it. But
that's what I want to hear about for sure.
So coronavirus started. I was full-time student and I was working. I was working after school at like a daycare place, just hanging out with the kids and stuff after school. And that took up all my time. But then the coronavirus hit and the schools shut down. My school shut down. I was doing school at home online and I couldn't work because school shut down and I was working after school. The place I was working for was at the schools. So all that was shut down. So I had an Xbox. I really hadn't played games since like early high school, maybe.
Yeah.
Because just playing football all the time and having a girlfriend, everything just takes up all your time.
For sure.
And so I didn't really play too much. And I was like, dang, do I want to go out? Well, it was really tough to get a job then too, because like everywhere, especially in Florida, was just shut down.
Yeah.
So I think one of my friends that I still talk to right now, he sent me a link, and it was a Twitch link one day, and he was playing 2K with some of his friends. And I didn't have 2K, I didn't play, but I was like, oh, this is cool. Like I could see my friends playing and I could type in the chat. Like that's kind of lit. It was kind of the first time I ever experienced Twitch. I didn't even know what it was. And I think the only thing I knew was fucking Ninja. Like that's the only thing I knew. I was like not a gamer whatsoever. Because that was when Ninja was like big popping. He's like making millions of dollars and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't even know what Fortnite was back then, but I knew who Ninja was. You see pictures of
exactly.
his crazy hair and stuff. Yeah,
same. So, let me think. So I looked into Twitch. I had an Xbox right here. I literally started with nothing, just my Xbox and a TV. And I figured out how to download the Twitch app, whatever. I got it. I was playing a little bit, and a little game for upcoming streamers. I'm going to tell you this right now. I wish I knew it before, but before you start streaming, whatever game or community you want to be a part of, I highly suggest going on Twitch, meeting people, interacting with them, like starting to make friends and stuff, because I just jumped on Twitch. I didn't even know not one soul on Twitch when I started streaming. I literally got on and was logged on my phone, my computer, my mom's phone, trying to get the 3 views, like just grinding.
Yeah.
And what's it called? And then as I started growing a little bit, I don't even know how it was. Maybe people jumped in my chat randomly and told me to check out other people, but I was just grinding. But if you make friends and join the community, it's definitely a huge help for sure.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Great advice to have. And multiple people have brought that up. Like I know DK Nice, when he was on this podcast, he mentioned, the fact that whenever somebody comes into your channel and drops a follow or drops a sub, that you're always shouting people out and helping people network through your stream. And he said that he started doing that more because he was inspired by you and how you did it in your stream. So, I mean, people.
Wow, that's crazy. Shout out DK.
Yeah, man. No, he definitely, picked up on that. And it's something, like you said, it costs nothing to you to type a shout out in the chat or to shout somebody out. But it means a lot to like that small streamer who's grinding with his mom's phone open, trying to get his 3 views. Like
exactly.
Every couple follows helps when you're first starting out. And you started out, was it Madden on the app on your console? That was how you started out, and then. Well, obviously
there's literally just there's an app on the phone on the Xbox. I was on Xbox at the time. Now I'm on PlayStation.
Yeah.
But Yeah, there's just a Twitch app you just download on the system, and then you just literally you can type in your
Yeah,
game, the title, and then push go live, and then you literally have to switch right to your game, and you
yeah,
cannot switch off of it. If you
yeah.
switch off of
Stream
it, the stream
crashes.
will
Yeah.
turn off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you read
it
a
was
message, you get the blue screen. If you go to like read your, yeah, it's crazy. Like that's, I
exactly.
started out the same way on PlayStation. It's pretty good. Like honestly, when you think about all the problems, like tech stuff you deal with when you have like a PC setup or whatever, like it's pretty. It's an easy way to start. Like you just have to have your camera, your console. Like it's not a lot of money to get invested to start if you already have a game system with you. So definitely,
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
would you recommend other people who are looking to start out, like just boot up a stream on your console and try it out? Like, I think
Oh
everybody
yeah,
starts
for
that way.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
cause you can. I mean, I bought this headset right I'm wearing right now for like the cheapest one at Walmart. I just needed a headset just to get started, whatever,
Yeah.
and I still use it to this day. And this is what I was using this headset, just my Xbox and the TV, and I was just chatting with chat through the headset.
Yeah.
And I mean, people, I see streamers playing all sorts of games, no camera, just
Yeah.
just their game and their audio, and the chat loves it. Like they talk
Yeah.
to them, so you necessarily don't even need a camera, but
Yeah,
it's a
for
great way to
sure.
start for sure.
Yeah, Mortality talked about that on his stream. I think he started out his first couple streams, no camera. I always had the little cutout PS4 camera, and I thought that was cool enough. Like back then, I was like, wow, this is wild that like you're doing something like you said. I wasn't a huge video game guy either, before I got into Twitch, but it's kind of weird that you're like broadcasting it, and you never know who's gonna click on it. It could be somebody from another continent, could be somebody from in your own hometown. Like, do you ever have people like from the Miami area coming into your stream being like, "Oh, I live in your neighborhood," or like I've had that before. It's kind of wild.
No way, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I haven't had it to that extent. I've honestly, and I'm not even gonna name people because I'm not trying to have them find out. I'm a
yeah,
type of person that's more like more secure. I don't know. I just
hmm,
grew up being like that, and definitely on the internet. Like I don't give out my exact location type
that's
shit.
smart.
So,
That's
but
smart.
there's people that have came in my stream literally telling me where they are,
Yeah.
and I was close to them. I'm not gonna
Oh
lie. I
man,
was
that's
I
hilarious.
was very close, but I wasn't gonna say shit. But it is
Yeah.
crazy. It is
That's kind of
crazy.
wild, man. Yeah, it's but at the same time, like I remember, you brought some of your IRL friends onto your stream before too. Like I remember being in a stream, you had a few of your boys there. So do you still feel like you kind of, even though obviously, and I would recommend this to everybody, do not just go out giving out your social security number on Twitch. Like it's not as much as you think you know people and trust people. There's some stuff you got to keep sacred to yourself. But like, do you feel comfortable like sharing your, kind of your real life with your community? Because I've seen a couple like cool IRL moments that you've had on your stream even that stand out
Yeah,
in my
for
mind.
sure. And I'll start going into that right now.
Yeah,
So I'm starting to do more IRL, just chatting streams, trying
yeah,
to bring more of um just more people involved in my streams, whether it's in real life, my friends, or getting on Discord and jumping in a Discord live with videos of a bunch of people. Um, I've been in the Madden community for a little over a year. I started streaming Madden, and that's what I've been doing like soulfully this whole
hmm,
time. I do think that it's really good to find your niche, so to
yeah,
say, and stay with it and grind in it. I think it's good. Um,
yeah,
what's it called? But I personally feel like I've been in the Madden community for a decent amount of time, and my gains of stream wise have kind of been stagnant
yeah,
within the last couple months.
yeah,
And I just feel like I have more of a personality, and I feel like I can bring more to the entertainment side of things
yeah,
because sometimes when you're in chat, sometimes when you're streaming, your stream's popping, people are talking, engaging with each other. It's great. You're looking at the
yeah,
chat, it's flowing. But sometimes I've experienced it's not like that. Sometimes
yes,
it's completely dead, and I'll be streaming, I'll just be playing Madden, just looking at the screen, like, and it's tough because I'll try to spark up conversations just with myself,
yeah,
try to ask chat something to try to get people engaged because it's just more enjoyable when people are there with you.
for
And
sure.
I don't know. I feel like I've been rated by a lot of great Madden streamers who try to help me out so much. I feel like a good percentage of the Madden community has either saw me randomly, have jumped through a raid,
Yeah.
and have seen me. They either like me and they rock with me, they follow me and they still chill with me, or they've seen me and they don't like me and they don't show up. So I feel like I've done I've done my thing in the Madden
Yeah.
community, and like I told my people, I'm not completely done. Uh, I'll play Madden. I mean, I love Madden. I love football, so I'm never gonna just stop it for good. But I
Yeah.
feel like if I want to try to grow on Twitch, I feel like a good move for me would be to try to expand a little and do a little more IRL. Somebody that I
Yeah.
look up to that I'm sure a lot of people know is Aidan Ross. And to be
Yes.
honest, this guy, he started streaming around the same time I did. And he is just
Got well,
stupid
4 billion
fire right
people on his
now.
Twitch now. He's blowing up. He's like
Bro,
a
I'm
celebrity to
saying.
young kids these days. They don't care about actors and athletes. They care about Aiden Ross. Like he's like their hero. It's
I'm
kind of crazy.
saying,
Yeah,
I'm
man.
saying. I
Yeah.
was just talking to somebody the other day. I was driving somewhere. They were like, "Oh, how was the ride? Was it good, bad?" And I was like, "I was honestly just listening to a podcast, whatever." And they're, "Oh, what podcast?" I was like, honestly, I was listening to somebody interviewing Aiden Ross, whatever.
Yeah.
So I've been doing a lot of listening to him, and he's just I don't know. I just there's a lot of things that you can take from people and
Yeah.
just add it into your thing. And one thing that he was saying, a lot of his success came from um, he first started playing like 2K and was pretty successful with it, and then 2K died down.
Hmm.
When 2K died down, he ditched it. He found something else that was popping, and he went there and
Yeah.
tried to make it pop, and people were enjoying it coming to his streams. And then if that died down, he tried to find the next hot thing going.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like that's where I'm at. I feel like I should have moved on from Madden.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I waited a little too long, but I mean, at least I'm opening my eyes a little more.
Hundred
But I
percent,
just
man.
feel like I'm just more of an entertainer, not like a gamer. So if I can have my dogs on here, just chill, play games, like I feel like I'd be better off.
Yeah, for sure, man. I respect that. And honestly, like you're saying a lot of the same stuff that a lot of these content creators who have come on the podcast said. Like, you look at other streamers that have had a huge amount of success, and you like what everyone tells me. You're trying to grow your stream. Look at the best streamers in the world and do what they do. Like that's basically the best advice. When W was on here, he was talking about how he looks at Nick Merckx and wants to replicate that success. Like there's those there's people that we look at as successful, and then there's people that are super successful. So of course, like we'd be foolish not to kind of try to replicate that a little bit. And I think that's something that could be difficult. Like for me, Madden. I think Madden's the only game I have on my console right now. I don't even think I have another game installed right now. Maybe
I feel
Warzone
I
because
was
of
the same
Warzone.
exact way. Yeah.
Yeah, and it can become stagnant sometimes, and like you said, like there's the ups and downs too. Like there's times where the streams are popping, they're going crazy, chat's moving a mile a minute, you can't even keep up with the messages, and then it's a little bit more awkward or like not less
Yeah.
enjoyable, but it's a different vibe when you're just kind of sitting there playing a game because you could do that off stream. You don't need to
Exactly.
press the go
Yeah.
live button to play video games.
Yeah.
But I respect you being like super, transparent about everything, and I think it's a good move because, like you said, you are a big personality, and your personality is going to translate to whatever game you play or whether you're doing a just chatting stream. Like I was watching you this morning, like doing a just chatting where you're just like looking at the UFC fights and like looking at clips, reacting to stuff, and people love that. So
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
that's a
And
good
I was
move.
talking about like what's it called? Like the Madden community as a whole. Like
Hmm.
if you just look at, and I mean, I know it's tough just starting off as a
Yeah,
streamer. If like Madden is a great place to start because there's a lot of people that are super passionate about football,
yeah,
and relative to the other games on Twitch, Madden is very, very small.
yeah,
So if you get in Madden, literally
yeah,
you can meet the whole community in a week by just
for
jumping
sure.
on, going to the directory, and just meeting new people every day. And but yeah, just the top Madden streamers, like 1,000 viewers for like a different game is like peanuts.
Yeah,
But for Madden, that's like that's like
That's top
gold.
five.
That's
That's
like
top. Yeah,
everything.
that's huge.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So I feel like I don't know, like Aidan Ross. Let's say like I hate bringing him up because I mean we doing our own thing, but
yeah,
just Aidan Ross. Like if he has like people on there, like one, he's not talking to every single person, so like
yes,
everybody doesn't like know him personally type
yeah,
thing. Like there's a lot of people that are just on there just because they enjoy his vibe. He's a young kid. He's just chilling, having fun,
yeah.
and I just feel like I don't know. I feel like I bring a little bit of that to the table too. And even if I get like a little, just a little portion of
Yeah.
like the type of people that enjoy him, I mean, that's hundreds of people right there already.
Oh,
Um,
for sure. I could definitely see you making a transition and having having success. Going down that avenue too, because it is entertaining and it's like a really chill, relaxed like atmosphere, and you're given so much flexibility. So like whenever you feel like when you kind of break out of just being in one directory, whenever things start to feel stale or if you start to get bored or like you said you feel stagnant, it gives you the flexibility to just do whatever you want on whatever day, like whatever you're feeling, which is kind of a cool
Honestly,
thing.
the first day, which was like 2 days ago, that I
Yeah.
actually told my stream that I'm gonna break away a little of Madden,
Yeah.
and we were just vibing. You have no idea. Like I felt so relieved that
Yeah.
like playing Madden, sometimes if the games aren't going your way, it's super tough to keep playing.
Oh
Like
man. Yeah.
it's super tough. Like there's some days that I'll just play game after game and I literally can't get a win.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I've
and
had
it's
those
just
days,
so
man.
hard to
Yeah.
stream. It really is.
Yeah.
And just the freedom of just going on YouTube, pushing trending, and just looking at what's popping nowadays. Like people are interested. The other day I was looking at this Elon Musk thing he's coming out with. It's like a little chip
Yeah.
that you can like take out a piece of your skull and put the chip in, and it can like store your memories. It's like
That's
the
wild.
coolest thing I've ever heard.
What
Yeah.
the hell?
And
What?
the
Man, that's
chat was going
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they were even talking like you can like people that can't walk, it'll like restore and you'll be walking
Yeah.
like blind people, it can let you be able to see again. Like it's absolutely
That's
insane.
wild.
And there's just so much stuff on the internet and that's going on in the world that if I can't keep a stream going with all of the stuff that's going on in the world, like I
Yeah.
got an issue. Like
Hey,
there's
that's a good
so
way of
much to
looking at
talk
it. Yeah.
about.
Yeah, no, you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. Like that's kind of eye-opening and inspiring to me too, because like I went from some of the best streams I ever had during the drop weekend and like the Zero Chill promo. I feel like a lot of people were popping and having their best streams ever, and then then I go to my last week where I'm like views are a little bit down, chat's moving a little bit slower, and it can be it can definitely get to you, especially when you care about what you're doing so much. Like you obviously care about what you're
Exactly.
doing. You have faith in yourself, and like you said, you believe that you can put out a good product. So how do you kind of let that roll off? Like when you have a bad stream, like well maybe not a bad stream. Like I think to be honest, there's no such thing as a bad stream. I think booting up and even if you talk to one person and have a good conversation, it's a win. But like
Yeah, for sure.
how do you deal with disappointment? Maybe you have goals that you set or a timeline that you have set for achieving certain things. Like how do you deal with
Um,
disappointments?
Let me think. Personally, I used to have my viewer thing at the top of Streamlabs
Yeah,
clicked on. So I was looking at it constantly throughout the
yeah,
whole stream.
yeah,
And I mean, and when I had it on was like kind of on the up and up of my stream.
yeah,
Um, because when I first started, it was going up, and like towards the end of Madden 21 was probably like my peak of
yeah,
streaming in sense where I was like averaging like 60, 70, and then
yeah,
after Madden, that Madden ended, and we went into like the dead season, and
yeah,
everybody like tried to scrounge for a game. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, that's kind of when like my views started going down again. And then when the new Madden season started up,
yeah,
like people just started watching different people. My stuff went up a little, but nothing too
yeah,
serious. But having a tough stream, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. I'll just be just chilling and just I'll just look at myself in the damn in the stream labs
yeah,
and just like smile. I'll make myself laugh like I'm doing right now. Just
yeah,
try to be positive. I mean, sometimes if stuff is like not going well, I'll like try to set goals for the stream. I'll
Yeah.
come on the next day trying to have something just something fun to do. Sometimes I'll get some ideas that I'll put in the channel point redemption. I've done one thing where I was like $20 to whoever can make me laugh
Yeah.
or whatever, and then I'll put a timer on and I'll just do full screen me, and I just will keep my mouth shut. And then if you can
That's
make me open
hilarious.
my mouth and laugh or whatever, I'll
Yeah.
slide you a 20, whatever. Just something to engage the chat.
Yeah, man,
But
that's wild. I love that idea. That's like super creative too. Like that's not something that a regular person thinks of. Like, yeah, like that's to be able to kind of come up with stuff like that. I think it's a gift for sure because like a lot of people we just kind of press go live. We play the games. We know what days the promos come out on. But to be able to kind of do something on spur of the moment is special. I think for sure.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. And what's it called? Yeah, there's a couple things that I would do in the channel points, and I feel like that's where like just being an entertainer on here, enjoying talking to different people, getting people in here is like where I feel like I should be instead of just getting on here and playing Madden. I'm not the best Madden player, not even like I don't even know why I'm saying the best Madden
yeah.
player in this sentence. But like I do this for fun. I don't do meta stuff. I use the Browns playbook just because I like them. I try to find my own stuff in here.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just do it for fun. And then especially when I'm playing like sweats, it's super tough because I literally was telling my chat the other day, like, this guy is gonna make me. This guy pressure in the chat got me going stupid. What's
It's
it
funny.
called?
Yeah, Yeaton going crazy right now.
Yeah, but what's it called? This dude the other day, literally, I told my whole chat, I was like, this guy is gonna make me go on YouTube and find plays that like actually work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But and I hate that because I really don't want to do that. But if I literally keep getting flooded by one thing and I can't stop it, like that shit's frustrating.
Oh man,
But
it's the worst. I've had days like those days where you go like 0 and 5 or something. You're like, damn, I got to stream. I don't want to look like I'm just running away by booting down stream early, but like sometimes you're like, get
yes,
me the hell out of here. I don't have it today. It's
yes, I feel
frustrating.
that.
But you know what? Like the toughest thing, and this is like what I was dealing with maybe last week myself was like, gameplay's been pretty good. I'm playing the game well, but I'm not having the same amount of fun that I used to be having. So that's where I really look forward to doing these podcasts because this is something that like if I hadn't started doing podcasts, I would be feeling super stale and stagnant for sure. Like it's, I realize the social aspect of Twitch is a lot more fun in a lot of ways than the actual, playing video games part of it because. Like I said, we could play video games off stream anytime, but like it's the chat that makes things interesting and the friendships that you make along the way. So I'm like super grateful to have like people like you come on here and just have a conversation for an hour. It kind of beats getting my head knocked in Madden for an hour. I'll
I
take this any
feel
day of the
that.
week. Um,
Yeah.
but
And I think
so
Twitch, just in
go ahead.
general, the viewers, and I mean, chat, you can talk to us. Look at me, she in the chat. Let's get it.
Yeah, let's
I feel
go.
like the viewers, in just general, they enjoy having more interactions on stream. Like me and you on here together is
Yeah,
amazing. I see people with discords with 10 people in there all interacting together, having a great time. I see GTA streams with like 10
yeah.
different people talking. They're all together. Like just
Bro, I
having
want to
more
do
people
that. I
on.
want to do that for sure. If you get into
Hey,
doing like
Les.
GTA, like role play or something, I'm in. I want to try that.
Yes.
That
I'm
looks so
starting to
fun.
do it right now.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Okay, that's inspiring
Do
stuff, man.
you
Yeah.
do you play GTA on PC or no?
No, I don't. Is that where all the good servers are at on PC though?
Yes, bro. I literally, because I'm just starting this, just chatting, just vibe and stream stuff. I
Yeah.
started getting on GTA the other day, and people were liking it, and I started seeing this role play stuff.
Yeah.
And so the past couple of nights, I've been jumping into people's streams, and they were like the GTA on PS5
Yeah.
is like. Let me think of how to explain it. The PC one is like super, super updated. So
Yeah.
like you know how you can pull up your phone on GTA?
Yeah. Yeah.
On PC, it's like an iPhone, and then
Yeah.
on PS5, it's like
It's like a
some
Motorola
ratchet
Razor or
from
something. Yeah.
1920. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like they just updated everything. Like I literally saw somebody they have Tinder on their GTA phone, bruh.
That's insane. That's
They
hilarious,
have
man.
Twitter on their GTA phone. They literally have every app on their
Yeah.
GTA phone. It's absolutely crazy.
That's wild, man.
So
I feel like I would like it, that, especially with the PC. It allows like so much for customization. Like I see all these TikToks all the time of people like shooting their cars up into the sky and going off ramps. And like I don't even know how I get linked to these videos, but like I see so much customization on there that you could do like crazy things in
for
GTA. There's like
real.
endless
And I turned it
possibilities.
on and thinking that like this is like my first time ever getting into GTA. I know people who've played it for years and years and years. And like I just get on there and I'm like, all right, so what now? Like, what do I do? Like I'm so new to it that
Yeah,
I don't even understand. I know there's missions and stuff, but I'm just so new to it. And I feel like you have to be rocking with a couple people for it to
yeah,
be fun.
for
So
sure. Yeah, I've seen like I've heard there's like discords you can like get into, and it's like super like tough to get into the really good ones. Like I know Problem Right was doing some of the GTA role play. I remember watching him do it, and it just seemed like super cool. But like I don't know who dreams up these scenarios. Like you have like I don't know if it's missions in the game or like somebody comes up with a scenario and you got to act. It's like acting kind of, I
yeah,
guess.
I literally don't get it. Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, do you
Yeah.
just have a player and then make up a scenario and then just pretend? Like
Yeah, and
I
like
went on
record it for
somebody's
the stream or
stream.
for YouTube, basically. Like that's what I think it's just creating like a story with these virtual characters, pretty much. Like that's what I assumed it was, but I could be completely wrong. But chat can tell me
That's
if I'm wrong.
crazy.
Yeah, it's kind
I
of
saw
wild.
people just in there all hanging out, and then
Yeah,
this one guy walked up to this girl's car and tried to holler at her, and she's like, "I'm going to get my nails done," and I'm like, "Hold on, what is going on?"
yo,
It
that's
was like
crazy.
so awkward. I was like, "What?"
Yeah, it's
But it
weird, but
was
that's gonna
funny.
be funny anyways, man. In the stream, like reacting to all this stuff. That's
Yeah,
what
for
gives you
real.
the comedy and the content right there.
Yeah, facts.
But yeah, I wanted to talk to you a little bit. So Mr. 9 a.m. This is the name, the moniker, and I remember, chat might not remember this, but I remember on Twitter, and I remember Dubby gave you a shout out on Twitter, like out of nowhere. Like I don't even know if he had like made himself known in your chat, but like he was like talking about how your stream was lit in the mornings and like calling you Mr. 9 a.m. and the name just kind of stuck. Like how did that first come about? When did you decide that 9 a.m. was the go to? And you're pretty good about staying on track with your schedule, I find.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people plan things in their life and just set goals and stuff. And I try to do the same thing with my life, but I've noticed, I mean, I'm not that old, but I've noticed throughout my time that things just come up and like just me living my daily life, like things just come up and then I think about it, do it, whatever. And then I look back to it and I'm like, dang, like that's crazy. Like that was a good move
Yeah,
type stuff. And like honestly, just I started streaming and I was streaming randomly and then I was just thinking like just ways to just be better. And I would just set up, I was just, I don't know, I guess thinking of a time that I'd want to set a schedule for. And I like getting up early. I tell my stream this all the time. Shout out to everybody who's always up early,
yeah,
getting things done. I mean, be productive. If I wasn't streaming on like a weekend or something, I'd be sleeping. So the
yeah,
fact that I have to get up and I set myself to this, I said I created the Mr. 9 a.m. Now I've set myself a standard. I have to get up. I have to be productive. The 9 a.m. I mean, the Mr. 9 a.m. was just throw the Mister on it. Call me Mr.
yeah,
9 a.m. Whatever. It was
yeah,
just
yeah,
just whatever. But 9 a.m. was definitely get up, be productive. It was just more like of a motivation, like get up
yeah,
and do something for sure. So then when I started that, like everybody I talk to, even my IRL people, like they tell me like they admire this 9 a.m. shit because I treat streaming like a job. Some people
yeah,
just do it for fun. And although I'm not making like job money, like
yeah,
this is not a job like that, even though I wish it was, I
yeah.
still treat it like that in trying to make it that, you know what I mean? So
For sure. No, and like I think about the same thing too, because like honestly, I was looking at my hours streamed for like the month of January, and I was off work for a lot of December, January, because like I'm a teacher, so we get a couple weeks off, so I was able to stream more.
uh-huh.
But like I was like, I think I streamed 85 hours last month, and I was like, you know what? That's like half of a full time job. If I'm working, it's
Yeah.
like I work 2 40-hour work weeks plus my full time job too.
Yeah.
So like obviously when you put in that amount of time, it would be great if you could get compensated like a regular job and get the money that goes along with it. But at the same time, what you're doing, you're building a community too, which if you can stay consistent and keep up with it and continue to grow and what do you call it, reimagine yourself like as it goes on, like that's a
Yeah.
valuable thing, and it's something that doesn't happen overnight unless you're a celebrity, when you boot up and people follow you just because of
For
your name.
real.
But
Yeah.
while it might not show up in in money or finances right off the bat, I do think that like the time you put in is super valuable. Now at the same time, and you kind of mentioned this earlier in the stream, you want to make sure that your time is going towards actually growing your channel, because you found that you were feeling a bit stale and stagnant. So at that point, you have to kind of figure out how much of it is wasted energy. I know you're a guy who cares a lot about being productive. If you feel like you're spending 85 hours a month streaming and it's wasted energy and you're not getting where you want to go, then it must be time for a switch up.
Yeah, for sure. Also, I was also thinking about switching up the time, because the people
Yeah,
that in the just chatting vibes like section category, like I feel like a lot of these people are on at later times of the
yeah,
night. I think I did the first e-date the other day at like 9, 10 o'clock at night,
yeah,
and I had I had more people in there than I had in the last week streaming Madden. It was at a different time,
yeah,
and I was doing something different, and I had more people. Like, what? That makes no sense. So
yeah.
something had to have been rolling. So
Okay, I got to see this an e-date. So explain to me what this is. I'm 33 years old. I don't know what this is, but I've been hearing about these things. So what's an
yeah, so
e-date?
I've been this is part of the just chatting, trying to get more people involved in the stream. So when people click on it, they see a bunch of people, and it's a lot of interactions. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I've watched
Yeah,
them. They're on YouTube. People are doing them on Twitch, and basically what it is um you can do it either way. You can have one female and then have a bunch of guys on there, and it's
yeah,
basically like it's like kind of like a game show
yeah, yeah,
where they're trying to like shoot their shot at the girl. Hey, where you from? Talk to her. What
yeah,
do you like to do? Okay. And then give each guy like a minute or two to chat it up with the girl. And then basically the girl will eliminate like half of the people, and then we'll go
yeah,
into another round, and then we'll get a little deeper in their conversation, whatever, and then she'll like eliminate them one by one. And I did like a $25 gift card for the winner.
yeah.
And I don't know if Mishi's still in the chat, but
She
huge
was in there
shout
earlier.
out
Yeah,
to Mishi. Yeah, she was the woman for the e-date. She said she was about it, and I am extremely thankful because the stream was a huge success. And I was just actually, not to get a little off topic,
yeah,
but Mishi being the first person to kickstart these e-dates, um, is just like I was watching the Full Send podcast this morning, and
yeah,
Full Send podcast said their first person that they got on that had clout that came on that gave them a big kickstart to the podcast was Dana White. And
yeah,
he actually came on again like yesterday, and they shouted him out. They were like, hey, just want to let you know we appreciate you so much because you were the first one on here that kickstarted this. And Mishi is basically that for me
let's
with the
go.
e-dates, because honestly, I've been on Twitch for the since Mishi got on there, just
Yeah,
going into other streamers' chats, emails chats, um, people that had the same amount of views as me, less
yeah,
views than me, more views than me, and just saying, hey, I jumped in your chat. I just found it today. I enjoy your vibe.
yeah,
I do a little game e-date thing on my stream. I was wondering if you want to be a part of it. And listen, I've messaged like 50,
yeah,
and I've gotten like a handful of responses, and they're like, oh, I have a boyfriend. Oh, no, I don't want to do
yeah,
that. Oh, thank you for coming through, but no, thank you. And it's like, it's super fucking tough, yo. It
yeah.
really is. So,
It's probably great content, but yeah, I imagine it. I mean, it's hard enough to like try and find somebody to be on a podcast and work out schedules, but like when something like that can be kind of awkward, and that's what makes it fun too. That it is kind of like an awkward thing, right?
yeah, for real.
That's tough. You know what? I'll tell you what. I got a few, and I mean like literally maybe 3 females that hang out in my chat. So I'll try and put in a word if any
Say
of them want to get on the podcast.
less.
I'll send them over to your Discord. That'll
Awesome.
be
I
my
appreciate that for
yeah.
real.
No worries, because I feel like honestly, like hearing about these e dates and stuff, that sounds like way more entertaining. Like I'd much rather tune in to watch like an event on somebody's stream than just watch, Madden.
Yeah,
Because
because
honestly,
then
I don't
it's
even
like a
watch the gameplay.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I care about the personalities. I don't care like I cannot tell you a single play that anybody in this Madden community has run all year because I don't watch that. I'm watching the streamer. Um
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. So
I got the guys on deck. I got plenty of
oh
guys. That's
yeah.
not the
Oh, I
issue.
bet.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Exactly. You gotta find the balance. That's the hard part.
Yeah,
Um
facts.
but Dino, I wanted to talk. So I kind of want to talk a little bit about the NFL playoffs right now, like what's left of the NFL playoffs, and then talk about your future goals to kind of wrap things up afterwards. But like, did you any surprises for you coming out of the playoffs right now, like from this last
I
round?
mean,
It's been kind of wild.
the Packers, yo, that was a huge shock.
Yeah,
Huge, huge, huge. I
yeah.
mean, I feel like, and I was literally just before we got in here, somebody was like fussing me up,
Oh
getting me
yeah,
all
the Aaron
hyped up
Rodgers
about Aaron
slander. Yeah,
Rodgers,
that's right.
bruh. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I mean, I do think that he could have done, I mean, everybody holds him to a great standard, and I mean, as they should. I mean, he's great, but I mean, I do think he could have done more in that game.
yeah,
But yikes! I mean, the blocked field goal, the blocked punt.
yeah.
I mean, special teams played out of their minds and clearly won that game for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, and
But
what do
and
you
then
think?
there's a lot of blowouts going on. It's crazy.
Yeah, and what do you think about for Aaron Rodgers now? Do you think that that was his last game as a Packer? Do you think he's going to come back for another run? Like where do you see him going? And I guess Devonte Adams at this point too, because they're both looking
Yeah,
for the way
it's
out.
I mean, they are going in the playoffs like every year, aren't they? Like
Yeah,
last year
yeah, they
they were
are.
and lost.
Yeah,
It's like they're doing like pretty good compared to some other teams. Like at least they're getting in the playoffs. They're getting actually deep in the playoffs.
yeah.
And I mean, obviously, I mean, I don't know if it's too obvious. Obvious for Devonte Adams, he's not done playing football
No.
wherever if he's there or going. Aaron Rodgers, I think he's still gonna keep playing.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know. It's before the season and during the season, it was super fishy with those two.
yeah,
Like organization and Aaron Rodgers, it was really tough. I think he has a great relationship with Devonte Adams. So I don't know. I think they stay.
yeah.
I think they could make another run next year, to be honest.
I honestly like I said, they were like one possession away from making it into the NFC Championship game. Like they weren't far off, and it took one of the worst special teams performances ever to keep them there. So I mean,
Honestly.
and it took a lot of luck and a lot of grit from the Niners to unseat them. So and for some reason they just seem to match up poorly against the Niners. I don't know why, but it seems like they always struggle against that team. Even with Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback, they can't seem to get past them.
I
But
know, it's
I
crazy.
don't know, Rodgers. It's weird. Like I don't know what this thing is with Green Bay. They have these generational, really, really good quarterbacks. Like Brett Favre, amazing quarterback, huge fan favorite, left Green Bay on really, really bad terms. Now it looks like
Um,
Aaron Rodgers. Like I could see the exact same thing happening. Like how come every quarterback that comes into Green Bay is a Hall of Famer, and then when they leave, they hate the organization for a few years? Like it's such a weird thing. Like I guess success
yeah.
doesn't always mean you're happy.
I mean, shit. I'm sure those fans better appreciate that because
Yeah.
every quarterback the Browns fans
Oh,
have
bro.
like, it's not even Hall of Fame. It's like they're like Hall of Fame projected coming in,
Yeah.
and then they just completely shit. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my
It's
gosh.
it's brutal, man. It's brutal out there for the Browns.
I'm
And what do you
saying,
think about like? So I don't even know what happened in the game that was going on right now. I don't even know if let me pull it up right here. So with the Bucks Rams game, I think the Rams won. I saw Frogman coming in and dropping
no
some Rams emotes in the
way.
chat.
Yeah, I did see that. I didn't
Yeah,
even
yeah,
notice
yeah.
that he
So
was doing
wow,
that.
30-27. So the Rams ended up holding off the Bucks. So do you think that Brady's going to keep like what about him too? Because isn't his contract up? It was a 2-year deal. So like,
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
see
yeah.
Brady sticking in Tampa Bay or like retiring, moving somewhere else? I don't like. What do you think from him? A lot of these older tier quarterbacks kind of have decisions to make this year.
Yeah, for real. I think I mean this year was huge for Brady because they literally brought everybody back, all the
Yeah,
starters from offense and defense back
yeah,
just to win another Super Bowl. So the fact that they didn't make it happen this year,
Yeah.
I mean, I do not think he's done playing football.
No.
I think he keeps playing, but I don't know. I mean, people were talking about, LeBron in Cleveland, then
Yeah.
Miami, back in
Yeah. Yeah.
Cleveland. People were talking about him going back to Pittsburgh. I said Pittsburgh,
Oh yeah.
New
Yeah.
England,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they got Max. So I mean, he got to stay in. He got to stay in Tampa for at least, I don't know, a couple more maybe.
Yeah. I
He
think.
doesn't look done at all.
Oh man, and he looks happy too. Like think about him being in his mid 40s now. He's living like he's living the Florida lifestyle as opposed to living in New England during the winter. Like now he gets to enjoy
Yes.
a better lifestyle probably than he was accustomed to. So I mean, I could see him just chilling. I think he's going to stay in Tampa Bay if anything. And I mean, he did have injuries in the playoffs too. Everyone's going to come back healthy next year. They're going to
Yeah.
be ready to make another run at it. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
who do you think if you had to pick like the two teams that you think are going to be in the Super Bowl out of whoever's left here? Let's assume that the Chiefs Bills. We don't know who's going to win that game. It's a tie game right now.
My predictions before today was definitely the Packers, but I
Same.
can't believe that. I really
Yeah.
can't. They have such a great team. Their defense,
Yeah.
they got Aaron Jones, Rodgers, like
Yeah.
their team is crazy good, and I can't believe that. But let me see. So who do we have?
We got
Bengals.
the Rams Niners. I guess will be the championship game, and then we got Bengals and either the Bills or the Chiefs. Whoever wins tonight's game.
All right, I'd say Chiefs go against Bengals. I say Chiefs win that, and then
Yeah.
I say Rams. So Chiefs
Yeah.
and Rams.
I could say
And
this too.
then
Who do you think wins that?
Rams are popping. Rams are killing it. Just because I'm a Browns fan, OBJ did us wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know if I want to see Rams, but if I had to make a prediction for the Super Bowl win, it'd probably be Rams. They got a dominant team.
I could see it. And how weird would that be coming from like the Detroit Lions, who are historically like always a really difficult place to win. Like they've had no success really for a long
Yes.
time. To go from the Lions to being a Super Bowl champion would probably be one of the biggest turnarounds in a career.
And this is his first year there, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't think he's ever made it this deep. I think in the past he might have won one playoff game. I don't think he's ever made it past the second round of the playoffs with the Lions.
Wow.
And he's had a lot of health issues. It's good to see Stafford like still healthy this late into the year. But
Yeah, seriously, I can't believe that. It honestly reminds me of. I just watched this movie. I don't remember the name, but it's on Kurt Warner. Have you heard of it?
oh, I've heard of it. So it's like an actor playing Kurt Warner. It's such an
It's
interesting idea.
fucking
That's
amazing.
yeah. Where do you
Yes.
watch it? Is it like in theaters or is it on a streaming
It's
service?
in theaters. Yeah, I watched it in theaters just the other day with my dad. And at first, when I went, I didn't even know about the movie. My dad told me about it, and I was like, okay, whatever. We went to it. I heard it was about Kurt Warner, and that man, honestly, he's probably my favorite quarterback after
Yeah.
watching that movie. Just seeing everything, I highly
I
suggest
gotta check this out.
watching it. It is phenomenal. I didn't know his story because
Yeah.
he was already in the league for a couple years when I actually
Yeah.
was old enough to know what the hell was going on and watching football. So I saw him play with the Arizona Cardinals
Yeah.
for a little bit.
Yeah.
That was about it. But seeing his story, it's phenomenal. It's amazing. He's a
Yeah.
fighter, and I didn't know that about him at all. And it's amazing for sure.
Okay,
Highly
I gotta
recommend
check
it.
this out, man. I gotta check this out because I remember hearing about Kurt Warner. So I guess first of all I heard that he got drafted by the Packers, didn't make the team. Like he was like
Yeah.
third string, and he had some issues with that, like because he thought he was better than that, and wasn't like willing to be coached. I guess at that time, went and played Arena Football League for a few years and kicked around there, and then obviously coming back with like the greatest show on turf, like with that Rams team.
Yeah, honestly,
becoming
in the
champion.
movie, what's it called? He got cut from the Packers before the first game.
Yeah.
And literally, I mean, I'm gonna give you a little teaser.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
it
give me the
called?
teaser.
he was actually on the practice field for the Packers, all suited up and everything.
Yeah.
And a coach said, "Come on, it's your time to go in." And he was like, "I don't know any of the plays." And
Yeah.
the coach is like, "It doesn't matter. Let's go. It's your turn. You're coming in."
Yeah.
And he kept refusing. He was like, "No, I don't know the
Yeah.
plays." And he's like, "Okay." And then the coach turned around. And at the end of that day, they said, "Hey, coach wants to see you in the office." And he went in and he said, "You're done." And
Yeah.
I'm like, bruh, like telling the coach no one time, okay.
Yeah.
You've been waiting your whole life for this, even if you don't know what the fuck going on. Come on, man, you got
He
to go
probably
out
felt like
there.
it was over. Like he probably felt like his window was gone. It's so hard to get into the NFL in the first place. I got to
I
check that out,
know.
man. Because
It's an
he's one of my
amazing
favorite
movie.
commentators. Yeah, and he did.
Hey,
You know, it was weird.
what
He said
games
it.
does he commentate? I haven't seen him do much.
Well,
I've seen Tony Romo a lot.
no, actually not commentators. He used to do like the before the game show,
Oh
like back
shoot!
in
All
the
right.
day. Yeah, but I like Kurt Warner's like interesting too because he's done like every role. He's been like the third stringer. He's been a Super Bowl champion. He's been like a mentor to Eli Manning. Like he's been
Mm-hmm.
kind of all over the map, you know. And I it's not like the typical Hall of Fame career either. Like his he wasn't he didn't have a super dominant prime or anything, but he still was able to become a champion and carve out his own role in the NFL for sure.
Yeah,
But
it's crazy how like um a lot of these superstars, people that are like MVPs of the Super Bowl, the league and stuff, like I don't know, I feel like it's just people assume that it's like someone like Trevor Lawrence never
yeah,
lost a game in his college career, first pick
yeah,
overall, goes all the way to the top. But it's people like Brady who like drafted 120
yeah,
billionth down the list
yeah,
and like struggle to get to the top and then they're there. It's like it's not always like the Trevor Lawrence guys that make it to the top.
yeah. No, you're absolutely right. That's like an inspirational thing for anybody who kind of has that chip on their shoulder for sure.
For real.
Um, yeah, and I want to kind of ask you last thing about your goals, like your future goals. Like I already know, obviously, you're on the path to get that dentist degree, which I think would be incredible. But what about from a streaming perspective? Like, what are your goals and anything that you have set out for yourself in the new year to try and build in your channel?
I think I've set myself up perfectly with a huge, great challenge, which is completely switching the vibe
Yeah,
of my stream. My personality and myself is still here, so I know the people that actually really rock with me and appreciate me for me will still stick around. So I'm not afraid of that, but I feel like I definitely will um, take an L on some of the viewership,
yeah,
but I'm completely fine with that because um I know what I'm doing. I'm switching
yeah,
up the vibe. I'm just like I did Madden. Now I'm starting to go into other people's streams that I used to strictly just be in the Madden community,
yeah,
and I still am, but it might be a little less because I'm also trying to network and meet new people in other communities. But
for sure.
yeah, I'm kind of getting like a jump start, kind of like how I felt when I first started streaming. I'm
Yeah,
kind of getting that again because I'm jumping into new people's streams and like I usually I'm getting like a deja vu because
yeah,
usually right when I started streaming, I would boom hit the follow. The follow noti would pop up, and I'd be like, "Hey, what's up?" They'd be like, "Oh,
yeah,
I appreciate it." Like I haven't done that in a while because
yeah,
I've met almost everybody in the Madden community, so I've already done that. Hit them with follows, jumped in the
yeah,
chat, and I mean, I've just been chilling with everybody in the Madden community who already knows me. So the fact that now I'm trying to expand and meet new people, like it's honestly crazy if you just go like to the just chatting
yeah,
directory or whatever, like I'll go in chats and it's honestly amazing because all I won't see not one name of somebody that I know. And it just blows my mind how so many people are on Twitch because usually in the Madden community when I go into people's streams, I know
oh yeah.
at
You know
least
everybody.
one
Yeah,
person,
one hundred
but
percent.
usually at least like 5 or 10 people.
Yeah.
So it's amazing going into these other communities and seeing like so many new usernames, not one. That's kind of
Yeah.
refreshing
For
also.
sure, yeah,
So,
definitely. Like that you honestly like the way you're kind of pitching it now is getting me excited to try new things and to try and go out and meet new people because it's true. Like Madden is great because it is such a small, intimate community. Like you said, you can get to know everybody here really well and build a community here really well. But sometimes you can get a little bit too comfortable. I think if you're too comfortable in your
exactly.
stream,
Mhm.
it's time to try something new because if you're not, if you're sitting there too comfortable, chances are you're not growing either. And I can tell that you're
And
really on a
that's
path to
that's
growth right now.
exactly that's exactly the feeling that I was feeling. I was just
Yeah.
too comfortable, and there was I mean, I felt myself growing before, like last year in the
Yeah,
community, meeting new people, like just everything. I just felt it. And the past couple months I haven't. And it really will open your eyes if you jump into other directories and see chats of flooded with people you have no idea who they are. It's
yeah,
To me, it's amazing. It feels good to just refresh and not see the same people over and again. And people you
yeah,
still do know, if you jump into all your friends' chats in the Madden community, they'll still know you. They'll
yeah.
still talk to you and stuff. But then now, if you jump in over here, now you're gonna meet these people. It's just there's so much room to grow, and I'm just excited to try to finally jump out and do something else like that for sure.
For sure, man. Well, Dino, I'm excited for you, man. I think you're going about this absolutely the right way. You're looking at it not as like like you said, like numbers might take a hit initially, but you're looking at this as a long term thing because you're committed to this being successful in the long term. So I think the move to more like just chatting, like more whatever game you want to play, doing what you want to do when you want to do it. I think is going to be a really good move for you. I think your personality is going to carry your
Yeah,
stream
honestly,
regardless.
it is just
Yeah,
trying to attract people who like just like my personality for me. You know what I mean? It's not even
yeah.
the game. Like people could
Because the
want a
game
game or
sucks. Let's
whatever,
be real.
but
The game sucks. Like in
I'm
a lot of years.
saying,
So
yeah, for real.
nobody's here to watch this glitchy game. It's about the person who's running the stream for sure.